it is, Ruby Tuesday appears on day 2 if you're doing the 5-day Juice Master Juicing Challenge. It is juice number 2 and juice number 3 to make life easier because you make it in a wonderful batch. I'm making enough just for one recipe. The idea is to double up where possible. Here is your list of juicy ingredients, and here they are live here. You don't need the whole pineapple. I've just left it out just to show you how to prepare, and you're not going to use this much basil. You know, people say basil in a juice, will it work? It works so beautifully. It's an unusual ingredient, I appreciate. But I've said 4 sprigs of basil to go in. But you know what? Unless you've got a slow juicer, a cold press juicer, a fast juicer, the leaves are just going to go in the back, really. You're going to need quite a handful. So what I'm going to do anyway, I'm going to take literally just about that amount of basil. That's all you kind of need. Well, maybe a couple more sprigs. I really like the taste of it. That's why I'm doing it. A couple more sprigs there. Let's get rid of the basil. That's what we need. Rich in magnesium, rich in manganese. Really good for you just generally, loaded with other vitamins and minerals. The pineapple has that little bit of texture, a little bit of sweetness. You're going to require about 1/4 of a medium-sized pineapple. Again, all fruits and vegetables come in a multitude of different sizes. They're not just small, medium, and large. You kind of get the rough idea that I mean. So we're talking about 1/4. And again, you might, if you're on the 5 pounds in 5 days, chances are you're going to want a little bit more juice. So you might, especially freshly extracted pineapple juice, which is out the park. If you've only ever had pineapple juice in a carton or in a bottle, you've never had pineapple juice. Unless you do fresh juicing, you just got no idea what it tastes like. It's beautiful. So we're just going to have about 1/4 here. Again, depends on your juicer. You can just cut that up, put it in with the skin. It's entirely up to you. I personally now, because you can't guarantee really them to be chemical free unless you've got really good quality pineapples that happen to be pesticide free, you know, fair trade, organic, those kind of things. You can't always guarantee it. So I tend to cut that off. Prepare it for the juicer. So again, depending on the size of your funnel, we're going to use a whole bulb of beetroot. This is the daddy of superfoods. Well, broccoli is as well. Okay, spinach is as well. Okay, cucumber is as well. In other words, everything from nature. But this is the one that's been studied most recently and in depth. The nitrates widen the blood vessels, oxygen take up. It also helps to lower blood pressure. There was a study done on musicians where they could hold their breath underwater for longer after having a beetroot juice. I mean, they're studying just about every single aspect of beetroot, to say the very least. But we've got a whole bulb going in. Just going to top and tail that slightly. That should go in just as it is, actually. No need to cut that down. Ginger, the doctor juice going in as well. Fresh ginger. Again, nature's natural antibiotic. It's Tuesday, really, technically, if you're doing it the 5-day, Monday to Friday, you chose to start on a Monday. That's why it's called a Ruby Tuesday. That's why we decided to do it. And again, we can make a double batch. I'm putting in the carrot can go in first. Just allow the juicer. We happen to be using a slow juicer here. Designed for green leafy veggies. Let that just crunch that baby up. Out comes the juice. Basil going in, ginger going in, beetroot going in. Allow it to do its thing if you happen to have one of these slow juicers. I'm going to feed the pineapple in next. You really almost don't even need to push it in yourself. I mean, you just literally pop it in and then it just kind of eats it, masticates itself. It goes at its own kind of pace. This kind of juicer, cold press juicer, is designed to extract every single last drop out of every single fruit and veg. Finish it off with the final carrot. You only need your juicer for this. You don't require your blender. Okay, allow every last drop to come out. You don't want to waste any of that at all. Bring out the juice. Again, I've just made enough for one here. If you're doing the 5 pounds in 5 days, Juice Master Challenge, then of course you're going to make a double batch. If you don't have a good enough juicer, when I say a good enough juicer, what I mean is if you have a fast juicer that isn't really designed for extracting the juice from green leafy vegetables, you know, and or herbs such as basil, then I would recommend putting them in the blender. But again, most juicers now, if they're packed in tight, you can get the juice from them or just add some more basil. Perfect. Gonna add some ice. And I've put this in a wine glass. I do this every now and then. You'll know this, juicy people of the world. Every now and then, I put a juice in a wine glass. Why? Because it deserves it. It deserves the pomp. It deserves the ceremony. That's what it deserves. Because we do this with a glass of wine, and yet this is fruit and vegetables that haven't gone off, as opposed to alcohol, which is fruit and vegetables that technically have gone off or fermented. This makes the perfect amount. Look at this, just exactly the right amount. What I love about this, it's got that beautiful head, if you will, this rich head on top where it starts to separate. That's the pineapple. It's akin to one of those stouts that you get from maybe Ireland, and it starts to separate and you can see it, but this is just, and it's also like that, it's also full of iron as well. What do you know? A bit of irony. How does basil somehow lift a juice like that while getting the kick of ginger at the same time? Don't knock it till you've tried it. There it is, Ruby Tuesday. And of course, after you finish drinking it, that's the time and only the time to say goodbye, Ruby Tuesday. Little reference to the Rolling Stones. Cheers.